Hey there folks, how are you? Hope everybody's doing great today. Today's video, I've had a lot of people ask me about gear in the past, like gear to keep, gear to upgrade, things like this. So with it being 3x speed for Dragon during this fusion, and I think it's probably also part of Raid's anniversary, I ran quite a few multi-battles here, so I figured, what better way to just look through all this, show you what I'm keeping, show you what I'm selling, show you my thought process behind these things. Um, Obviously, I know that there are auto sell options in the game, or even better ones in RSL Helper if you use that. So don't get me wrong, absolutely use that. I just figured, turning off all of that and just showing you would be the best way to, well, show you. um, and then there's kind of also this small part of me that just, like, even with the auto sell and everything, sometimes I do just prefer to look at it and kind of decide for myself because some situations aren't so straightforward. And of course, just as a preface to the entire thing, I'm not saying, the decisions that I'm making right here are the correct ones or the only ones. We're all on this raid journey. We're all at different places in our account, and the gear that we find good or bad is going to greatly differ between the account. And yeah, I mean, I'm in endgame, but I will still slap some 5-star gear on anybody. I have champs that I think are in very good builds that involve 5-star gear, but whereas, some endgame players who are much further along than me, they might just completely be auto selling anything 5-star. So yeah, it just kind of depends. It might depend the specific stats, the specific sets. Like for example, depending on this set, my standards might be much, much lower. Like for me to keep it in a bad set, it better be really good. But if it's a set that I'm constantly in need of pieces for, like for example, this was for speed, and so yeah, my standards are a bit lower, like for that set, or Merciless, for example, just because there's only a finite amount of Merciless that you could get each rotation, or whatever time period you want to use to describe it. So yeah, definitely, I've got people in 5-star Merciless because if you want the set, you just got to do what you got to do. So anyway, less rambling and more rambling about a different topic. All right. So, unfortunately, I'm not seeing anything crazy exciting. I'm not seeing like any 6-star speed like right off the bat here. Um Exciting. So, we'll just see. So, no useful stats. That's not terrible, honestly. I tend to kind of just keep anything like 5-star mythical in a set I want, just because I could quad roll this and then I could use the Chaos Orb, and then who knows, maybe I'll get lucky, get a speed there. You never know. So yeah, I would just say keep anything like that and just roll it. Destroy, not really a set I'm looking for. I would keep a 5-star speed boot, honestly. I would slap that on somebody because it's important to remember, like, you've got your best champions, right? That you use everywhere, that you use in live arena, that you use, in important places in the game, in Hydra, in Chimera. But the vast majority of your champs can be in pretty mediocre gear and get you where you need to go. Like, if you just want to put this champion in even like a hard cursed city room, maybe you want to put like, let's just say like 230 speed, 300 accuracy on them, something like that. That's completely achievable with fairly mediocre gear. And then again, yeah, 5-star mythical in a set I like, I'll just go ahead and keep that. Obviously, we're selling all of our flat stats. We're selling, like 5-star rare. It would have to be pretty magical for me to keep it. So yeah, just depending. I'll like, if this was 5 speed, I would keep it. I would roll it. 4, I don't think is worth. But again, that's my opinion. You can do whatever the heck you want, and I will not criticize it. So we'll just keep going through. Yeah, I kind of feel the same way about the 5-star Legos, like can reroll it, see what the heck happens. Just because I have so many of these by now. 6-star defense with speed, that's perfect. Like, you know, that would be fine for me if it were to roll the speed. I do like sets like Frost. Like I actually have several people in Frost and I do like this at this point in the game. But yeah, it's, you know, gotta have the stats that I'm looking for. You know, accuracy I still think is a decent set. I have endgame champs that I use all the time in it. Like I have a Venomage who I've used in several like tons of Amius fights by this point. I actually have him in some 5-star accuracy and he's out there doing his thing. So props to him. But Poison set, Avenging, I don't think these are great. Stalwart, I would definitely put somebody in with the, you know, if it had good defensive and speed stats on it. I have a couple people in that. I think that's a useful set. Frost, I think, is another good set. Again, Toxic, I don't think is super useful at this point. This I would keep just because, you know, you've got the high roll on crit damage, you've got crit rate, you've got attack percentage. It does have all the stats you need for a nuker. It's obviously not in ignore defense, but again, like, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. If I want to put this on a Leo, like I have a Leo on a champ. I was just going to use the example of I have a Leo and, you know, he's not in any of the good sets, but I have him just kind of in pieces like this and he does a lot of damage. So, you know, obviously not super ideal, but what in the world really is. So I've got a ton of nukers sitting in my vault. I just need to gear those up. So yeah, you know, and again, somebody else here we've got, it's 6-star rare, but yeah, with 6 speed, absolutely. If that rolled speed twice, that'd be an excellent piece in my opinion. Would absolutely slap that on some support. Probably one that doesn't really need accuracy, but again, so here's the little collection that I've whittled down. And I kind of wish I would have thought of this on my one from the other day because I think I got some more interesting stuff there. But I have had a lot of people ask me about this, so hopefully that offered some perspective into my thought process. Again, if your thought process is different, that's fantastic. Completely fine. Whatever's working for you. For me, like, you know, my account situation, I have just nukers upon nukers sitting in my vaults ungeared. So if I could even get one of them in a set like this, obviously it's not ideal, but again, it's more than fine for Cursed City. It's more than fine for like a Doom Tower secret room. You know, every champion on your account doesn't have to be, you know, ready to go in gold live arena. Like, just for example, that's the Venomage I'm talking about. Like 5-star speed, 5-star perception, 5-star accuracy. But if you look at the total numbers, like this is a strongly geared champ, right? Like this is an end game, high level, has fought in hard Amius and been the MVP of that champ fight. So again, I don't frown upon 5-star accuracy, 5-star speed, 5-star perception. Those are still good to me. But again, there are people who have been playing this game for like, you know, 4 years longer than me. They have completely different standards. That's completely fine. So again, we're all on our own journey out here. You know, we all have different opinions about gear, what's good, what's bad. You know, I'm free to play, so you're never like gonna see me as one of those gear snobs or whatever you call it. Like anything can really work. I mean, look, I didn't even bother. It's level 12. Like, you know, it doesn't have to be flawless perfection. I think a lot of people tend to watch kind of people who are extremely endgame and they have very high standards for gear, and I think that maybe they start limiting their gear. You know, I feel like they get a little too selective a little too soon. But yeah, I have tons of champs in kind of similar builds like this that I'm happy with their build. So, but yeah, as always, you guys, thank you so much for taking the time to check out the video, and I hope you all have a great day. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye.